Welcome to another edition of the Glorious Wrestling Podcast. Today we will be breaking down the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, the second edition of the Tag Team Tournament. And the brackets for this tournament look much better than they did last year. I'm very, very excited because I love tournaments, and so does the guy sitting next to me, the guy who needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway because he wants it, I guess. Dan Panopoulos, welcome to the Glorious Wrestling Podcast.
I'm ready for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, ready to shake and jive to the cool tones of all the theme music of every wrestler. I think Dusty used to jive.
I wouldn't have a clue.
Okay, well, that's the relevance of what I said that. So
anyway, we'll get straight into the tournament, which started this week on NXT with the Authors of Pain getting a surprise upset over the Bollywood Boys.
Really?
Yep.
Jeez.
Yep, I know you haven't seen NXT this week, so spoilers alert. But yeah, the Authors of Pain got up.
I'm going to need a minute.
Yep.
I'm going to need a minute.
I enjoyed the Bollywood Boys, though, I'll be honest. They did well in the Cruiserweight Classic. Anyway, so they move on to the next round.
I would have predicted Authors of Pain to win that match.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree there. The other match that took place was a fantastic one between The Revival and Andrade Cien Almas and Cedric Alexander.
Can I take a guess who won that?
Go ahead.
Was it The Revival?
Ting, the tag team champions, moved on to the second round. Cien Almas turned heel, and Cedric Alexander continues to be one of the hottest things in wrestling right now.
They hinted at that last week, turning heel, so...
Yeah. So they're the two matches that have taken place so far. We know that next week, our boys, the greatest tag team of all time... Hashtag the greatest team of all time. Bobby Roode and Ty Dillinger will take on the debuting Sanity. Now, unfortunately, I've seen spoilers for this. It's the only match that I have seen spoilers for, and I forced you to see them too because they were amazing.
Yes, you literally forced me to do it, so thanks.
Correct. And I'm not sure what else will be next week, but you can assume there'll probably be two matches every week in the lead up to Toronto, where they'll probably do the same thing they did last year when they had the two semi-final matches and the final on the card. But looking across this card, there are some bloody good makeshift tag teams coming into this tournament. You've got the team of Hideo Itami and Kota Ibushi.
Yeah, it's handy.
Yeah, I mean, you would assume that they're good enough to win the damn thing.
They are, except for the fact that Kota Ibushi said hell no to ever signing with WWE.
Yeah, so whether they let Kota Ibushi perform on a WWE NXT pay-per-view, I guess we'll find that out in due time.
Yes.
The other interesting tag team is the team of...
Sabatelli and Moss?
Sabatelli and Moss? I like Tino Sabatelli. He impressed me in Breaking Ground. I'll say that right now.
I don't think they're the team you're referring to.
No, they were not. I was just trying to remember Bing Wang's first name? Bin Wang? Bin Wang, that's the one. And Ho Ho Lun. That's an interesting team.
Is terrible.
He was straight up...
start that. He's not good.
He was straight up dog crap. I'm not...
He's not good. It didn't fit in the Cruiserweight Classic tournament.
He's like 84 pounds, not even dripping wet. But they take on Gargano and Ciampa, who I hope win the whole thing.
DIY.
Yep. And the other team that I was actually referring to was the team of Austin Aries and mystery tag team partner, who you have a strong theory on this one.
I do have a strong theory. I know you didn't mean to do that, but that's very good because it's going to be Roderick Strong.
I legitimately did not mean that.
It's Roderick Strong, and you don't even know who that is, pretty much. So, that was very impressive. I liked that segue, inadvertent segue, but I think it will be Roderick Strong because they were tag team partners in Ring of Honor.
Yep.
I don't know what their name. I forgot what the name was called. I had it before, but so they've tagged before, and Roderick Strong just gives another good heel to go with in NXT. So that would be good if that was to eventuate.
For the unwashed masses like myself, what is a Roderick Strong and what does it do?
Roderick Strong is strong. No, he was a former Ring of Honor champion. I think his early 30s. He's just a good, works as a face or a heel, probably better suited to a heel. And, he was one of the top guys in Ring of Honor for a while. And it'll be good to see him in NXT. Apparently he signed a while ago, so he left Ring of Honor a couple of months ago. So hopefully he is teaming with Aries, which would be good. And they'll beat...
how do you say that? Bogojevic and a Knight.
And Tucker Knight, yeah.
I
like Tucker Knight.
But what is a Bogojevic?
you butchered that pronunciation. I believe it's Bogojevic, and
Whatever.
he's a big guy. Tucker Knight and him, they're massive, big people, tall, like 6'9", I reckon 6'10". So I'm sure they will lose convincingly to Team Aries.
Yeah.
But hopefully we see the debut of Roddy Strong. I don't think anyone's ever called him Roddy, but
Maybe they will. Anyway, so the winner of that match, which it will be Austin Aries and whoever his partner is, will take on the winners of the match between Tino Sabatelli and Moss against TM61, and obviously you would again assume that TM61 would advance there.
Aussie represent and good friends of the Glorious Wrestling Podcast. Asterisk, we don't know them, but
I did see Nick Miller perform once in Australia, so I'm cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so TM61 will win that match, and they will take on Team Aries in round 2. I think that's pretty obvious in terms of those matches. Then you have Kota Ibushi and Hideo Itami taking on Lindsay Dorado.
Yes.
Yeah, I had to read that twice. And Mustafa Ali. That is a weird tag team. Lindsay Dorado and Mustafa Ali.
Why is Mustafa Ali still in?
I didn't mind him.
I did.
No,
he was okay. He was 50 times as good as Ho Ho Loon. Well, it's obvious who's going to win that one. I don't really like Lindsay Dorado. I don't know why they signed him to a full-time
He's like Sin Cara, but like...
Yeah, with a worse mask.
Yeah, version 2 of Sin Cara. So you'd assume Itami and Ibushi will kick them into their graves and just keep kicking and then bury them 14 feet under with feet. And they will take on the winner of...
With what?
Feet. They'll bury them 15 feet under because their kicks are so strong. Because their feet. Get it? Feet. Anyway, continuing on. Bobby Roode and Ty Dillinger, the Glorious 10, taking on their debuting Sanity. And this match is next week. This is the match that we have seen spoilers of. So
and no comments
we will
provided.
We will leave it at that. But, seeing Sanity as a tag team will be interesting next week on NXT. So we'll leave it there. So obviously that means that we'll either get a match between Itami and Ibushi and Bobby Roode and Ty Dillinger, or a match between Itami and Ibushi and the debuting tag team Insanity.
Well, they wouldn't be debuting if they win the match.
Well, no, you know what I mean. Like, they're a brand new tag team, and you would assume they want to keep them strong.
I was just trying to stick it to you.
Yeah, that's not very nice. So, a debuting tag team that have had, 8 weeks of vignettes in Sanity, going up against Kota Ibushi and Hideo Itami, do you put Sanity over them?
You do if they get past Dillinger and Roode,
I know,
which is the best tag team ever. I think Sanity.
Yeah, so that would mean that Sanity go on to face TM61. I'm not sure that's a match that would sell as well as Itami and Ibushi or Dillinger and Roode in there.
You don't really need to sell at this stage of NXT.
Well, no, because that'll be a semi-final match, so that'll take place at Takeover.
Sanity are heels.
Yeah, I know, but then...
So I think you need it.
You probably want the star power of Itami and Ibushi or Dillinger and Roode in there.
Yes. Okay.
So I think that
I think Sanity, if they beat Dillinger and Roode, could go all the way and win the whole thing. But I mean,
well, any team capable of beating Dillinger and Bobby Roode could go all the way.
Yes, but you know who I'd like to see win?
Who?
Dillinger and Bobby Roode.
Correct. But anyway, so I guess either way, we'll probably see TM61 in the semi-finals.
Yeah,
that's a good place for them to be, just to get them, a bit of momentum. The Authors of Pain have already squished the Bollywood Boys, and they will take on the winners of Drew Gulak and Tony Nese against No Way Jose and Rich Swann. And I like the team of Jose and Swann. I think that's a nice pairing there.
And I like Nese and Gulak, so I think that'll be a good match.
That will be a good match.
It will be a good match.
Jose and Swann win, just straight up, because I think they are probably better to job to the Authors of Pain in the second round.
Yes.
Anyway, so then the next match is the Revival versus Alexander and Almas. So we've already talked about that. That's already happened. So the Revival go through there, and then your boy Ho Ho Lun and Bin Wang taking on Gargano and Ciampa.
How dare you?
I'm not sure how well that one's gonna go. I think Gargano and Ciampa might get a win.
They'll win, but you can't have Bin Wang, who's the marquee guy. He's the new guy. He's the one that all this fuss has been made about, and he's going to be losing a squash match to DIY. I know he's not going to get pinned. Obviously, it has to be Ho Ho Lun.
Yep.
But still, they could have put them in a better match because you want Bin Wang to at least get off to a good start for the relations, to have the Chinese superstar get a little bit of a push, at least look strong, and they'll make him look strong.
I don't think it matters.
You don't think?
I don't think it matters whatsoever. It's
No.
a first round match in a tag team classic.
But they're building up this tournament to mean so much, and it does mean
It
so
does,
much.
and
It's Dusty Rhodes.
And Gargano and Ciampa winning means that they will take on the Revival in the second round.
Yes.
And I think that is going to be an amazing match with Gargano and Ciampa winning.
Yes.
Because I think that's how you get Gargano and Ciampa versus the Revival at NXT TakeOver in Canada
Yes.
for the titles.
I agree, and that's why I don't think Gargano and Ciampa would win the Dusty Rhodes Classic. But anyway.
Yeah, so Gargano and Ciampa go through. They probably beat the Revival in the second round.
Yep.
Which means they'll be taking on the Authors of Pain at the pay-per-view. Would that mean? Yeah, that would mean they'll be taking them on at the pay-per-view.
Yes.
So no. In other words, it won't be Gargano and Ciampa versus the Revival at Canada, but the Revival can still cost them the match, and that feud can still continue. If you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
'Cause you
Gotcha.
can't-
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
You
if
can't
know
have
what I mean.
you can't have the Revival versus the Authors of Pain. It's as simple as that.
I know.
Yeah. You're not providing much insight here, mate. Anyway, so Gargano and Ciampa go versus the Authors of Pain in one semi-final, and TM61
It
versus...
makes sense. Sorry to jump in.
Go on.
It makes sense for Authors of Pain to win the whole tournament.
Yep.
And it gives them a meteoric push. Last year, the faces won the tournament. This year, heels. Authors of Pain look strong. They look like they have a future in the WWE and NXT. Like, they could be a dominant force. And even if they act as dominant force bodyguards, that if they move up to the main roster, they could be, protect someone, be the all-conquering heels that just dominate. But it makes sense for me, Authors of Pain, to win this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, and then you can use that to have their manager Paul Ellering finally give a promo explaining who these guys are and what they want. So I think the Authors of Pain winning would be good.
You could see that. I mean, they're already feuding with TM61.
That could be the final.
It could be the final.
Yeah.
Because it's already a feud, might as well.
Yeah.
And I'd have no issues with that.
Nope, same. I would like to see Itami and Ibushi go all the way to the final, but I guess that depends on whether Ibushi signs... not signs, but whether they want to have Ibushi in the final, considering he hasn't signed.
Yeah, that would make sense as well. That's a good alternative for the fact that if they don't want... if they don't want to have the TM61 Authors of Pain feud keep going...
Yeah.
And that gives even more heat to Authors of Pain for... They could have them absolutely kill Ibushi.
That would be interesting. I guess the other thing is you can't have a Sanity versus Authors of Pain final. So it'll be interesting because there's so many different possibilities.
You couldn't have Dillinger and Rude either.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So there's so many different possibilities here. I mean, we both think the Authors of Pain are going to win the whole tournament.
Well, that's boring. We keep agreeing with everything.
I know. You can check out our No Mercy predictions as well. We've actually we agreed most of them too, which is quite boring. But anyway,
I'll provide an alternative. I don't think Authors of Pain will win.
But you don't believe that.
Yes, I do.
Who's going to win then?
Sanity.
That would be interesting. That would be a pretty strong push for them, considering we don't even know essentially who they are yet, or what they want, or anything about them.
Yes.
So
there you go. There's my prediction.
I guess the other thing is, would they want a heel team to win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic? What we saw last year was a big emotional trophy presentation and all that. Could you have?
Because we're in the second version now.
Yeah.
That was all the emotions and stuff. That's the first year. This year it means something, and it's a huge title for it, a huge badge of honor, and it makes sense to give it to a heel team to get extra heat.
Yeah.
So
I can.
So we don't agree. Authors of Pain for you, Sanity for me.
Fair enough. So I think we both agree that the semi-finals will be something along the lines of the Authors of Pain versus Gargano and Ciampa in one, and either Sanity versus TM61 or TM61 versus Itami and Ibushi. I think that's really how we've narrowed it down.
Well, I think Sanity, obviously.
Well, yeah, no, TM61 versus Sanity in one semi-final.
Ah, yes.
Or TM61 versus Itami and Ibushi, another possibility. Because it's not going to be any of the other teams in that bracket, with the exception of Dillinger and Rude.
I think Knight and Bogojevic could no. It'd be good to see Roderick Strong in NXT. I would like that.
I mean, would you have Roderick Strong lose in his second round match to TM61? I guess that would be interesting. But at the same time, there seems to be a strong push from heels on the other side of the bracket, so you probably need TM61.
You need them to lose, and maybe Strong can be a face. Maybe he'll come in as a heel only because he's partnering with his old friend, and then they can have a rivalry. But then where's Hideo Itami in this?
Yeah. He's with
My goodness, this doesn't make much sense, does it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess.
But it will be Roderick Strong, I believe.
Yeah.
I think
The bracket is a massive mess, if we're being honest. I think that, having Revival...
it's a good mess, an entertaining mess.
It's a hot mess. You have Revival versus Gargano and Ciampa in the second round. I think that could have been saved, because either way, one of them is not going to be on the pay-per-view. You can't just say, the Revival lost in the second round, but Gargano and Ciampa are still going, so they don't have opponents for the pay-per-view. Because you can't just
Maybe Ho-Ho Loon and Bing Wang will win because the Revival cost them.
Ooh, that would be so...
Because the Revival think it's an easy kill, right?
Yeah.
In the second round, and it continues the thing only for...
No, but then that would mean Ho-Ho Lun and Bing Wang would beat the Revival.
Yes.
And that would mean Ho-Ho Lun competing at NXT TakeOver in Canada.
I think that will happen. And then Authors of Pain can squash them.
Your boy Ho-Ho Lun going all the way to the semi-final.
Do not use those words to describe Ho-Ho Lun.
You've just had him go over Gargano and Ciampa and the Revival. That is exactly what you just booked. Anyway.
It's an option.
We will leave it there for our booking of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament. We hope you enjoyed our unprepared bullshit here. So we'll leave it there. We both think the Authors... Don't listen to what he's saying. He thinks the Authors of Pain are going to win this tournament.
No, I don't. Sanity.
And they will. The Authors of Pain are going to win it.
Do you remember the CD store Sanity?
Yeah, I do. But that was like a J, upside down J, wasn't it?
I think
Sanity with an upside... Anyway, that's enough for this podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at GloriousWP for amazing content like the stuff you are hearing right now.
At DemP9_9 for myself, my good self. Do not follow Nick.
I didn't.
Thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.